Charles, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? It's a bit noisy
I'm
here.
very good,
I don't
Roger.
know. It's all good. Well, we're here in Beirut on the street today, and
Hmm.
interesting enough, we're talking about, what most don't talk about, uh, psychedelics, the use of plants for healing, instead of psychiatric drugs, wellness in different kinds of formats. So I'm so happy to have you here with us because for me, you've always been an inspiration since I was 23 years old.
Hmm.
And I've made this today a journey. So thank you for joining us. And I'm going to hit
Thank you,
CHAKA
Roger.
with my first question. Psychedelic, plant-based, indigenous, shamanic, and very musical. In Shia Islam, mushrooms and ayahuasca were made halal for use because people claimed that they felt the existence of a divine force, which many even named God. That process took 7 years of scholarly studies across every aspect of health, including physical health and spiritual health. While many, a couple of hundred years ago, Christian missionaries, according to Terence McKenna, put the South American tribe to a witch hunt and burned them at the stakes along with the fruit of the gods. When the tribesmen said to the mercenaries, when they asked what was that thing they took in reference to a psychedelic plant that they took to experience their divinity in nature. So, what we know now is that psychedelics are one way to heal addiction among many physical and mental illnesses. But people are given instead highly addictive psychiatrics instead of healing with psychedelics, which are classified as Class A drugs in the USA, which means highly dangerous substances with no medicinal value. Now, I tried both, and I can confirm that psychiatrics are Class A drugs of highly addictive value and no medicinal value. But I can't claim the same about psychedelics myself and how they saved me from addiction at a certain part in my life and showed me my path to divinity before and after 3 years on psychiatric drugs. We are really honored to have you here with us, Charles, and to be gathering to hear it from the man who's done like no other in both music and wellness. Charles Chaka,
Hmm.
my first question to you is what do you think about this intro? And tell us about how One Love is addressing that.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I think the times are changing, though, Roger. If you look at the States, for instance, um, the legalization of Santa Maria, and now you have psilocybin mushrooms in Seattle that's been legalized, and it's all the talk. People are starting to wake up to the truth uh, about these plants and what they bring to us. Um, I think these plants are here to teach us, really. I mean, there's so many medicinal plants, but they're really here to teach us the truth of ourselves and why we're here, and it's here to really to heal us. So I'm really excited about the future, you know, and obviously, yeah, being involved on this path for the last couple of years, and the retreats that we are hosting in Africa, in Kilimanjaro. We're on the sacred land of the Masai Mara in Kilimanjaro, and then we work with the Winnie Queen from the Brazilian Amazon, that comes over to serve up some of their indigenous wisdom and medicines. So I've seen time and time again, over and over, how people are coming to these circles, working with the wisdom of the plants and the indigenous, and changing their life around. Really, so many people really just coming back and making big changes in their lives. Big decisions, quitting jobs, starting their own business, but just this calling to be in service and to be free, and they have this new point of view on life. So the plants are the masters. They're here to teach us. Yeah.
Um, so by the time I was 24 and still at Virgin and hooked up at a few parties that Charles threw, one day I was given the first copy of Infusion magazine, and I didn't know it was you who made it. To consider it for listing, I was responsible actually for magazines at Virgin Megastore. and it was for listing in 7 or 8 Virgin Megastore shops. I looked at it, and trust me, I used to be an addict of music content, music magazines, collecting music, etc. And as a responsible, so I'm doing my job at Virgin, as a responsible and highly fascinated decision maker on the topic, because I was that fascinated by Infusion magazine. We didn't have anything of that quality back then in Dubai, and nothing in music. And in my own way, you made that magazine, and I was like looking at it and saying, where that should this go into Virgin? And the decision was obvious. It's like, yes, by all means. And what happened is that Infusion magazine became what everyone wanted to know about what's good in Dubai music, not what's in music, what's good in music. So if we wanted to know where's the best party, who are the best DJs, who are the best musicians, Infusion was that. What happened to Infusion? Why didn't you? I know there's a change of media format, but why didn't you grow it further?
You know, Infusion came out in a time in Dubai where everything was kind of new and fresh. Let's say was launched in 2005. We ran to 2017. So for 12 years, we had a magazine that's coming out every 2 weeks, you know. Because we were artists and DJs and promoters ourselves, it was kind of by the industry for the industry. So it wasn't by a big name magazine saying, hey, this, it was kind of by us, you know, and that's really why it was grassroots level. And that's why people really connected with it. You know, as time grew by and Dubai grew and publishing and printing, it just kind of started losing a bit of traction. Unfortunately, financially, business wise, we couldn't continue to print, you know, 20,000 copies every 2 weeks with all the distribution. And Dubai is changing, and there is, you know, new platforms coming in, and online is really, really strong. You just can't compete with it. So we went for a certain period. We did go online. We had an online magazine. We ran an online platform, and you know, by 2020, just as COVID hit, I think it was kind of the final nail in the coffin for this chapter. You know, for me personally as well, being in media and what I'm doing right now, it's two different worlds, you know. So I also really wanted to let go of this chapter and just like, you know, I think during COVID I learned a lot and was just kind of okay with to letting it go. And it was time to create some new things. It was time for new ideas to come through. And that's what kind of where Infusion was left for 2020. I am kind of in the lab at the moment, thinking about Infusion 2.0. I have some ideas coming up. There might be something happening in 2023, but it'll be totally just something different. You know, I think I'm finished with media. I'm finished with clickbait and this, hey, this is good. And so I think the focus I have personally in my life as well is a lot more grounded, a lot more purposeful. So if we do come back, it'll be something along the lines where it's more about the community, more purposeful, you know, content wise. And yeah, it was its time and space in Dubai, you know, it had a good run. So we kind of, yeah, let it roll out there for 2020. 2020, COVID came and just snipped it all, you know.
Look, Shad, I mean, you always exhibited that capability of, you know, showcasing something new. And I think we're the kind of people that can't be stuck in one place. We're evolving as humans, and you know, things change, but you always exhibited this amazing sense of innovation, and everything you did was never, you know, small. And talking about innovation, you started Deep House Yoga. I don't want to talk a lot about it because literally, I mean, for me, even I witnessed there, you know, before even I knew you. And for me, this was fascinating. But the first thing that always came to my mind is, who did you piss off? Because obviously you're mixing a, you know, a contemporary form of art with a ancient tradition, right? So obviously someone is going to not like that. And but then Deep House Yoga, I think, made it to the Dubai Fitness Challenge, right? Did it? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
So
had
that's
some
my question.
showcases. Yeah, with
Who did you make angry, and how did you make it into the fitness challenge?
Roger, there's one thing I can say, that, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, you can please some people all the sometime, you can't please all the people all the time, you know. I know there's always someone that's going to say something about something you do, especially when you kind of reach high up, you know. And yeah, I've always kept my eye on innovating on new sounds and new things. Deep House Yoga was one of it. You know, House of Africa was an Afro house night back in 2013 with the like of Black Coffee we brought down, and now Afro is all over Dubai. You know, the ecstatic dance that we're doing, the conscious dance parties was kind of one of the first as well. So yeah, I'm always looking, you know, and with Deep House Yoga, I mean, that has been on the drawing board for a while. Like the idea has been there for a while, and kind of my partner at that time, Jess, you know, she's a yoga teacher, and we've been playing with the idea. We've seen it around. We've been playing with the idea, and then COVID kind of came around. And at that stage, I think they were allowing us just to go out and do social distance events. And I was like, Jess, this is it. Now's the time for Deep House Yoga, because I think we can actually get people to move a little bit. We need to actually let them move. So it was kind of, we did the yoga, we actually got them up, and we got them to actually do a dancing meditation, you know, at that stage, what we called it, but just to get people to move themselves a little bit and bring them down again, you know. And yeah, I'm sure there's some people that's saying we are, you know, not sticking to traditions, but it's also innovative and it's bringing new people to it. And it's, for me, it's bringing music, yoga together. You know, at the end of the day, we still saw a community arrive there and a community leave, and how they arrive in the beginning and how they feel at the end. I feel it's the most important part. It's like, are we doing something just because it's finicky and fun, or actually is there a purpose behind it, or actually is there a difference in the community? So, you know, yeah. And then, you know, Deep House Yoga is kind of there for us at the moment. It's here and there, proposals are going out, and some ideas to kind of get it out there for 2023 as well.
CHARL, first, do you remember the time when we booked which artists were meant to come to Dubai and they didn't make it to the airport because their passport? It was actually, oh my God, you remember that? The two guys.
There's so many. So I don't know. There's so many, so I can't remember. Like doing events over these years, like the stress that is like, I can't actually remember.
Yeah. We gotta send our regards as well to Jessica, because Jessica has been an integral part of Deep House Yoga, and I met her a couple of times in Dubai, and I wish her all the best, because she's doing amazing on the wellness front. So bless her and bless you. CHARL, my question, I don't want to keep you long anymore. But I will tell you one thing before we move to my last question. You spoke about Deep House Yoga, and Reconnect is a mental health and wellness that is presenting and creating its own solutions. Any way we can help you, please, by all means. We're working with centers, we're working with different entities, and it will be an honor for us to be supporting you with this, same like you always supported me and now Reconnect. My last question to you, CHARL. Another secret. So you see, I'm telling you a lot of stories that you didn't know about me and how you had an influence on my life.
Yeah, you are.
But wow. Like last week, this week actually, during this week, we actually launched a concept called Acro Electronic in Lebanon. I can tell you straight up, it was inspired by what you've done with Deep House Yoga, and we had an epic session. Really, we had about 20 people, and it was really fantastic. So we started it with AcroLab, and also, like, you know, we got together as different entities to also create wellness innovation that goes similar to Deep House Yoga. So my last question is simple: do you like Acro Electronique, and is it the kind of experience one might see or something like it at One Love? Like, what
you know what? Yeah, 100%, Roger. I think this is the future, you know, and this is why you've seen me kind of from this industry and nightlife that I was for all these years in media, and, you know, through my journeys with plant medicines and changing, I shifted 100% that this is the future, you know, future of people are waking up, they want to take care of themselves, and music is very, very much still part of this process. You know, music is part of the healing. You know, we've been on those dance floors, those moments where you were just, everything was just perfect. It was in heaven, you know. So I think it's really coming all the way around, and you look at the sound healing and the indigenous ways, the indigenous songs, the prayers, the fire, the community. It's coming full circle, man. So yeah, I'm really excited about the future, and about co-creating, collaborating, you know, and basically healing through these modalities, you know, music. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, tomorrow we're doing our last night, our before last night, and it is all about music. So, Charles, I won't delay you anymore. You've been so kind to give us your time and to share with us because, like I said, for us, it's more about healing, and that mixture between music and sound and multi formats is ideal because it takes the the seriousness and out of like mental health and wellness and takes it into a place of social integration, people connecting together. So,
say, Roger, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate and honor the work that you're doing over there with the family, you know, really just honoring that. Thank you for all your support over the years. And if I can close off by saying one thing that I think, you know, for all of us is just to connect with nature more. Nature is the healer, you know. Walking outside with your bare feet, hug a tree. I promise you, this is healing. As
absolutely.
hoo-hoo as it might sound, as crazy as it might sound, you know, connect with Mother Nature, the consciousness of Mother Nature, Gaia. She's in touch with us. She knows us. She has all of our records. So, you know, if there's one thing I can share, is just, yeah, be honorable to Mother Nature and connect with her every day. And yeah, together we'll walk to the path of healing ourselves, my brother. Oh,
I have my hand. Thank you,
Okay.
brother. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, brother.
Take care, man.
Cool,
Take
brother.
care.